What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today I want to look at the best junglers right now and also kind of like why I think jungle is the easiest way to carry games in this style, or this like meta, I guess. So this has really come from me playing a ton more and just realizing that a lot of my games are actually decided by how good their jungler is versus how good Az is. It's such an important role now. Anyway, let me know your picks in the comments, whether you think jungle is the best role to carry or some other role. And also, I'm streaming basically daily now, so head over to my Twitch to say hi. It would honestly be really cool to see you guys. Before we go into each individual champion and like why they're so good right now, the reason I say jungle is the best is mainly because they can impact every lane, right? Like help your teammates, put enemies behind, have the most pressure early, and determine, I guess, how the early part of the game is played out. We already kind of knew that. That's like every single season, but they can actually also carry now in team fights. That is what has changed for me. They carry early, we already knew, but now this like new breed of jungler carries later as well. They use the lead better, and that's kind of scary. Anyway, so the first one is Elise. Now she's number 5 because she's kind of hit or miss. Like the newer items and the carry build can make her damage relevant late game, but a team fight is just not very good. It's really about the early pressure you have on Elise, like how much impact you can have, how many ganks you can get off. Her ganks are really good. The damage is crazy. You can one burst people with your combo as soon as you get your runic echoes. Damage style is definitely the way to go, I think, with Elise now. Like I know a lot of people would go Locket and like Sight Zone sometimes, but honestly I think damage. And if you want defense, then Rylai's or Abyssal can provide that. She is like one of the best you can play early. Like you impact every lane the most, I guess. You can carry really hard with the advantage after, but if you don't do work early, there's nothing really to fall back on. Like the only crowd control you have is your E, and it's not very long. I would actually say she's very like the AP version of Lee Sin, if you want to think of it like that. Like very high pressure, good early damage, you can gank a lot, but if you don't do anything early and you don't actually snowball people, then you're not really this team fight champ that's going to take over. Basically, if you're going to play her, then like to make her top 5, you're going to need to gank a lot, control dragons early. You can easily solo them, to be honest, but safer with your team, I guess. Like take towers. Ideally, will the enemy jungle get picks like Cocoon into burst rather than full 5v5. Skarner is going to be my number 4 as well. In my opinion, probably actually the best jungler of this patch if you're going to play him well, but early game is why he's not actually number 1 at the moment. You can gank and stuff, like I'm not saying you can't, but not really huge amounts of damage or tanky until you get your items, and you don't have them to start with. That's probably one of the most obvious things I think I've ever said. You don't start the game with items, obviously, but like mid to late, right, you're a threat, you have the damage, you're tanky, and you can engage. Like you have such a good kit. To give you an idea, like if you stall the game until about 3 to 4 items, like 35 minutes into the game, kind of, you're looking at like over a 57% win rate, which is in the broken, like busted territory. The reason he's not actually broken and not nerfed and stuff is because early game, like he's barely above 50%, right? For now, like he is item reliant and in a carry meta, like aggressive early and like gank a lot, I guess. Like you can't really keep up. You will outscale if you can hold on, but the biggest problem is if these others like snowball lanes, your laners get behind and feed their ass off. Like that is kind of the price you're gonna have to pay, but in my opinion that price is worth it for potentially like a hard carry later. So we're gonna split number 3 into 2, I guess. Like my one for high elo and also my one for low elo. Amumu is my low elo one, and just to clarify, by the way, he still works at like higher ranks for sure as well. Like he's still awesome, but just really good at lower ranks. You're tanky, but like your damage is way too high. You can do the runic echoes, sunfire, abyssal kind of cheese build. I call it cheese because like it works way too well with this kit, and I don't think it's really fair. I don't really know if cheese is the right word, but his passive reduces magic resist, right? So does Abyssal. Sunfire is magic damage, so the burn is going to increase in damage, and plus all of your other abilities are magic as well, so like it increases everything. Like your Abyssal and your passive is going to increase everything on your kit. That 3 item combo is just ridiculous. You can go Cinderhulk though as well. It also works. You still have some damage. Like engage and your team fight is awesome, right? Pretty easy to win with as well. I think like it's not hard to group and fight as a win condition. My high-low one though is Nidalee. Again, like okay at lower ranks, but just like off the charts at higher ones if the player is really good. And my team recently on stream got 100% boned by a Nidalee. This was only on one of my plat 1 accounts as well. Like it wasn't like really high elo or anything like that. So even at that elo, a Nidalee can solo hard carry. I think she's got like higher pressure than any other champion really, like an Elise, but even more on the win early or get screwed scale. I think like your ganks early have a lot of damage. That's basically what you bring. Hit by a spear and someone's probably dead. I think personally it's kind of low risk actually, because because not many can survive that damage and try to like turn it around. But the reason I'm saying higher reload, by the way, is mostly because of the game plan and the execution. I actually think Nidalee is a hard champion to be good at. Some people flame me every time I say that, but that is my opinion. I think she's kind of hard. Regardless of if you agree or not though, it's hard to get a lead early and gank a ton and then end it. Like, that's the focus of it. Like, while you're still relevant, you have to end the game. So number 2 is going to be Zac, and in my opinion, these 2 top junglers should be picked or banned now. That is how good they are. Zac is really a complete package, though. You have damage enough to kill someone, which, by the way, I've been on the receiving end plenty of times. I'm sure most of you have as well. He's tanky. Like, I say this all of the time, but like, he builds tanky items, but it's also the disruption. So like, his E, you have to dodge it or you get knocked up. His ultimate, like, that actually makes you more tanky because you survive longer. You have a long range engage, you dive like a mofo. Like, build wise, you build tank, you do damage. It's kind of perfect. You also have a healthy farm. It's quite fast as well. He does everything. That is kind of the thing. He farms, right? He has ganks. He's good early, good mid, good late. He can hard carry, he can team fight, he can skirmish. I don't really know what more you would actually want from a champion, really. Like, I don't think he's missing anything. His ganks are way too hard to avoid because they're so long range as well. Like, you can kind of snowball out of control. Like, repeat ganks, basically. Like, when you have no flash, he will camp you so hard. Now, anyway, number 1 is going to be Graves, though. So, he might be getting a nerf next patch, but it won't be enough to remove him from the game. He'll still be decent at least. Zac is kind of like a jack of all trades, I guess. He's good at everything, but Graves, it just has one job, but he does it so well, and that is kill stuff. Your burst is nuts. Like, you one-shot people easily, and people do not see it coming either because it's just like in a split second. Like, his long-range ultimate is an AoE snipe. Even sustained damage as well with autos. Like, you're going to be a threat after your cooldowns, I guess, but like, you have a couple of underrated things. Your smoke screen and your E tankiness. Your smoke screen, you can shoot a carry in a fight and they can't do anything. They can't see. They have to run back, and you're actually reducing their damage output by just using the smoke screen on them. Your E makes you naturally tanky with free stats. A lot of people don't like the build that I'm going to suggest on the screen now with Graves, by the way, but this is like the hard carry style that's really dominating at the moment. Sure, you can go more defensive, like a bruiser kind of style, like Ghostblade, Phantom Dancer, Death Dance, Sterix, but like, you're not going to hard carry games with that. That's more of like a mix of staying alive, absorbing damage, and a bit of threat and damage. The build that's ripping apart my games, at least, is the full AD and ARPM build that I'm showing you, and that's why I'm recommending it. So let's go wrap up this video. Let me know what you think. Also, remember to come and check out my Twitch. I'll try and stream at the time this video goes live, but I might be a little bit later tonight. I'm not too sure. Thank you guys for watching though, and as always, I'll leave you with the robots.